Well, the interior of this vehicle is actually rather nice. It's quite tastefully put together. It's quite stylish. This particular car, the brown, a bit revolting, but I'm sure it comes in different variations. The vision of this vehicle, the rear window is quite small, very narrow. The mirrors on the left and right hand side are a funny shape, and they don't really offer a lot of vision, to be quite honest. Don't quite know what the idea is there. The instrument panel, it is obstructed by the top of the steering wheel. I find this in so many cars. I don't know why it isn't easier to design a car where you can see the speed dials no matter what position you prefer to sit in. This car is very smooth to drive. It flows along effortlessly. This is a 6-speed manual. It really is quite pleasant to drive. It's very, very, very icy smooth. It's like going across an ice rink. The steering, not quite as light as I expected. It feels a lot more certain, and it's a lot more agile as well. It's actually quite responsive. You do feel quite in control of the vehicle rather than at cause, rather than being an effect of the front wheel drive. In fact, it's very lovely to drive, very comfortable, very relaxing. The gears slip into place like they're gears just slip into place very comfortably. There's no forcing around. With some cars it's like trying to stir coal. This is really effortless. In fact, driving this is an absolute pleasure. With Vauxhalls, you know, it's always from one extreme to the other. They're either really nice to drive, or they're absolutely awful. This one seems to tick all the boxes. So the only thing I can really find wrong with it at the moment is the obstruction of the dials by the steering board, and the fact that it's got a pretty gross interior. On another basis, the actual interior is pretty well put together. You know, this in the right colour, this would be a very desirable vehicle. It's certainly not a fast car. It's got a moderately sized engine. If anything, I'd say it's undersized. But it'd be quite interesting to have this vehicle with a beefy V8 engine. I think it would be quite a good drive. You certainly do feel you're in a big vehicle, nice and secure. If anything, the windscreen feels a little bit too low. Your head's up in the loft of the roof, which I must admit you do have quite a bit of headroom, but you don't feel like you're on the same level as the actual windscreen. So rather than looking out through it, you're looking down and out through it. It's almost like you're driving a car which is meant for a dwarf. There's no noise at all coming from the wind off the windscreen. It's really a very insular feeling driving this car. The only other cars I can think of that deliver the same sort of experience really are like Jaguars, Mercedes, and the top range BMWs. I think despite the gross colour scheme of this car, I think Vauxhall have made a nice little package here. If there's anything I can say about the car in a derogatory sense, it doesn't feel like it's well put together. It does feel a bit cheap and tacky, and it does feel a bit low budget.